friends, welcome back to Woodland Bunny. So today we are doing an experiment of sorts for a week. I'm going to be reading 100 pages every single day. That is the goal. I read that regardless anyway, but outside this challenge I'm constantly having an audiobook on the go, usually reading 1 or 2 physical books, as reading is my special interest if you're new here on the channel. I really wanted to give myself this challenge this week because when I was reading Priory of an Orange Tree, in which, in case you don't know or you haven't read it, it is around 700 pages. I found it so daunting, and whilst I was in the book and in the world and in the experience, I was absolutely adoring it. But then I would find myself, when I needed to pick up or I'd have downtime for reading, I wasn't gravitating towards it. I just found, because I was like, oh, it's going to be so daunting, the characters are so complex, the world building is so complex, I got in my head about it, and I don't really want to do that with reading. So I found something that really helped me was marking every 100 pages and giving myself that goal. Usually, undoubtedly, I would go over those 100 pages once I started reading, but that was what helped me get over that initial hurdle of just beginning to read and picking up the book instead of doom scrolling. So we're going to do an experiment this week where every book that I read, I'm going to mark every single 100 pages in it and see how much I get reading. The 100 pages is going to be a baseline goal. If I go over that, I'm not going to stop myself reading 100 pages, but I just thought it would be an interesting experiment to see whether it really aids my reading or perhaps hinders it, as it really helps so much with the Priory of the Orange Tree. We're going to be beginning this reading challenge with *ᴍᴘᴱᴜ a Witch, as that is my current read. I'm around 70 pages into this one, and my thoughts so far are I'm not particularly enjoying it, but we're still very fresh and new to the characters and the worlds and the plot in general, so we'll see how we go. But I'm going to continue with marking every single 100 pages in this book, and this is going to start off our challenge for the week. So grab yourself a warm and hot drink of your choice, a cozy blanket, and let's get to reading 100 pages every single day, friends. So I've just hit my 100-page mark in *ᴍᴘᴱᴜ a Witch, so I'm now 176 pages through. I'm kind of enjoying it more than I was originally. I am finding some of the dialogue to be a bit immature despite them being adults, but I think that's just the nature of the book and the nature of the plot. Some of it is really good and I'm really enjoying seeing how it progresses, but the plot itself seems a little immature anyway, so I feel like that's perhaps why the dialogue is immature. I kept questioning whether this was actually a YA, but I definitely think that it's not. It must be an adult, since the way that the characters are and the age that the characters are. So yeah, I'm gonna keep on reading it, and probably tomorrow now. I had a lovely time reading it outside. I've now been for a shower, got changed because I'm going to a beach barbecue this afternoon. But yeah, so that is my 100 pages completed for the day. I'll let you know if I get and read any more. But that was very successful so far, and I found that they flew by. So very excited to see what the rest of the challenge brings. But this is our first check-in. Hi friends, so now 270 pages of the way through *ᴍᴘᴱᴜ a Witch. I just finished my 100 pages for today, and I'm really enjoying doing this. I am kind of just wanting to read The Lost Apothecary because that's the current audiobook I'm listening to, but I am enjoying this one a lot more than I was initially. I'm very close to the end now as well, and finding it's flying through. I'm really enjoying the writing style and just that overall concepts in the small town. It's a really fun read and a really quick read as well. But like I say, I'm really enjoying this challenge And so far, the 2 days I've done it, it's really nice to intentionally sit down and just read 100 pages and dedicate that time to reading a certain amount of pages. And it was really nice just to know I had like some time this evening that I should just set aside to complete this challenge and read the 100 pages. So yeah, I just wanted to do a little update. I'm gonna head to bed now because I'm extremely tired, but I will update you when I've read my 100 pages tomorrow. I sadly had a bit of a rough day on Wednesday, so I wasn't able to fit in 100 pages. I was so grateful for this challenge as it kept pushing me through the week, and I always find when I have a rough time, sometimes I neglect my special interests, in which makes it even a worse time. The challenge really helped me ensure that I was sticking to my special interests and made time for reading. Hi friends, so I had less than 100 pages to read until I ended *ᴍᴇ괱ᴱ which in which I have done so, as you would have just seen. So I've now finished this one. I think I'm going to rate it 3.5 stars. It was an enjoyable read. It had a competition in it which I don't usually enjoy. It was sapphic, in which I did enjoy, and I enjoyed the small town aspect. I enjoyed the family aspect and the friend aspect. But yeah, the competition I wasn't too much of a fan on, and some of the dialogue sometimes, although I think this is an adult, it did feel very YA, and I couldn't really distinct whether it was adult or YA, and I didn't really like how sometimes there were very adult scenes with then YA commentary surrounding it. So yeah, I think that's my criticism of the book and why I'm giving it about 3.5 stars. So yeah, those are my pages I've read so far today. It is 10:45 now, so I am going to be heading to bed very shortly, so I probably won't get any other reading done. I'm going to start a new book tomorrow as I have nothing left on my physical reading TBR. I've completely cleared it out, and which is really exciting because I'm starting afresh and I haven't had a clean slate for quite a while. Usually I have multiple books on the go. Yes, I'm going to drink my tea, head to bed, and then we'll pick out a new read tomorrow. Hello friends, I decided to pick up *ᴍᴇ괱ᴚ as my next read. It's one of my most anticipated reads for this year, so I'm very excited to be finally picking up and choosing it. So let's get to reading 100 pages for the day. Friends, so I think I'm going to change my reading choice, although I'm really excited to read *Interview with a Vampire. I just received this one in the mail, in which I have a Daunt book subscription, in case you didn't know. I love getting a book from them every single month. It was actually a Christmas present from my lovely boyfriend. He had the brilliant idea to get me the subscription, and I absolutely adore it because I've discovered so many new titles from them. But I'm excited because this one is just a little over 100 pages. I think it's about 110 pages. It's also translated fiction, in which I'm really wanting to ensure I get more to, and yeah, I think it's just going to be a perfect pick as it's actually a book once I've read the 100 pages. So I think I'm going to do this one first and then continue on to *Interview with a Vampire, because obviously I have more days left to read that. So yeah, this is going to be my pick for the next day or so. friends, so I finished Hammersh last night and I rated it 2.5 stars. I just didn't personally really enjoy it. I found the writing was so complicated and I didn't really understand the concept. Like, I understood that it was based in a post-apocalyptic world and it was questioning morality and humanity and wealth and status and how that sort of remains, or those boundaries are kept in these post-apocalyptic world, and it was almost a human study based in a post-apocalyptic world or a post-nuclear war, shall I say. It was interesting. We didn't really get any answers to anything and I feel like it was all a bit vague. I do feel like that was the point of the story, but it still left me feeling a bit lackluster and wanting more from the story. It was really short but so hard to get through just because of the complexity and the lyrical writing. So yeah, I didn't particularly enjoy it. It was an interesting study on humanity and humans and morality, like I say, but just the overall writing style and the book itself, just it wasn't my cup of tea, sadly. So I'm now going to move on to Interview with a Vampire as per my original plan before that one arrived in the mail. So let's get to reading our 100 pages for the day, and this is the last day in which I'm going to be doing this challenge, so let's get to it, friends.